Hello and welcome back once again for another episode of our Terraria 1.4 Summoner series. Today we are going to take on part 2 of the Old One's army. And here's a little heads up for those out there who may be having issue with this or just not familiar with it overall. Basically, if you want to make this thing easier, get yourself the lightning staff in the first wave. That way when you come to part 2, it'll be a whole lot easier. I actually had to make a second world so I can grind up some defender badges to do this. Of course, after we did this in the previous episode, I only did it for a few times, didn't get much of what I needed, so I actually had to go back and regrind for our lightning staff. Now, with this one, we do have the lightning Arcane right here, as you can clearly see. This is highly recommended for the second phase. It's strange that you have to use these canes. You could probably use the other ones, but it takes a lot more involvement, I suppose. Either way, these lightning canes actually make things a whole lot easier, so lightning Arcane for this part. And I'll probably grind this after the video's over as well, just to get enough defender badges to make this simple. But yeah, as you can see, it's a lot more manageable compared to the ballista. I want to get another ballista for the Plantera fight. That's why we're doing this whole episode. That way we can go ahead and farm up enough to get that, and then be prepared for the third part, which we'll do in a future video. So, fun times ahead. Fun times indeed. Now, you can actually get some helpful gear from this event. You can actually get like the Defender's Buckler or whatever to basically give you more sentries. You can get like 2 to 3 sentries possibly. So, I mean, I could do that, but overall, just something as a nice sentry. It's an upgrade over the Queen Spider staff. I've been playing around with it, trying to find a better way to get a better sentry, basically. And I feel like the upgraded Ballista staff would be good for this. So, as you can see, yeah, man, this is the one thing that I really wish I can go back and fix would be the fact that I would start with the lightning staff. Then that way I can actually get the ballista staff. Follow that up by getting the lightning Arcane, which we have right here, which makes this thing so much easier. I mean, it's still a bit challenging, especially as you get later on, but still, it makes it a whole lot easier. You're not beating your head against the wall trying to come up with a system that works. This is just so much easier, as you clearly see. So we're going to be doing that, and of course in part 2, you're going to have the Ogre as the last boss for this. I don't know, I want to say it's difficult. It's not that bad, but as long as you have all your sentries set up, it should be certainly doable. This thing does not play around. The lightning cane just absolutely rips and tears. As you can see, their life going down rather quick. Of course, I'm helping with that. Of course, also can't forget about those guys, the flyers. Once you start getting flyers, it's more important to pay attention toward the middle. You can go back and forth with it, but yeah, the flyers actually do a ton of damage. And part 2 of this whole event actually makes it challenging because not only do you get more flyers, but you get the one flyers that are kind of like kamikaze bombs, and they do a ton of damage. So right now, yeah, the name kind of escapes my memory of what they were called, but I just know they are very painful and come up with a lot of trouble. So it's working out pretty solid so far. As you can see, having the right equipment makes all the difference for this. And like I said, I don't know, I mean, you could probably do it with others beside the lightning cane, but it just makes it so much easier. So the lightning staff, the lightning Arcane, they're the ones you want to go to. You want to go to them, and then once you farm up enough badges, you kind of upgrade your gear from there on out. Wave 4, it's a thing. We're just going to be tearing through this. Not even really put much effort to do it. That's the funny part. You can get away with doing that for a little bit, but yeah, once you start getting around wave 5, wave 6, more intense mobs come out, and then once you get the Ogre, it definitely makes it a little bit more challenging. Yeah, like those raptor guys. Raptor guys, I'm not even going to bother looking at their name. They're just raptor guys from now on. No. But as you can see, they have a whole lot more hit points. Little critters here and there, but the sanguine bats aren't even struggling with this. So, there we go. Wave 4 is done. Go ahead and grab up some mana crystals here so that way we can slap some more sentries down. Also, it should be noted for those who may not have noticed it before, if you take a look at the upgraded Lightning Aura staff, you can see that their radius is slightly bigger than the previous ones. So by the time you get to the end of a wave, like you get to like wave 7, you'll notice that the sentries take up a lot of the space. So yeah, as you can see over there on the left side, we have our sentries are almost right down to the crystal. It does cover a lot more area, but in the end of the day, I think it's a matter of getting all the damage down to make sure we don't have any invaders. So far, this crystal's still in pretty good health. It took some damage, took a little bit of a beating, but you know what? We still got it pretty safe, so that's all that matters. And I swear, man, the Sanguine Staff, if you can get it earlier, the earliest you can get that, the better it is. Because look how much damage these guys are just tearing it apart. We've got, like, what, 5 bats out there right now? I don't even think I took a Summoner Potion for this. Yeah, actually, I think I did. But either way, 5, 6, doesn't matter. These things do good damage, very ample damage. So they're holding up their end of the bargain for this. Not even breaking a sweat. Wave 5 is done. Now, it's either this wave or the next wave. I think it's the next wave where we actually get the most mana crystals, which is like 30. So, of course, snatch all these up really quick. Then we'll slap down a couple more sentries over here just to solidify this area up a little bit more. This should hold up pretty well. Wave 6 incoming. And I don't think it'll be as intense. I think the biggest thing to worry about, again, is going to be the flyers. Okay, have a sentry over there for backup. So that way, we can actually have everything pretty much covered. Some things will still come across, of course, but nothing really to worry about. This is like the no sweat, no worry kind of way of doing these things. So, yeah, it's just it works, man. It just works. I don't know what else to say other than get yourself the lightning stuff, the lightning gear, the lightning staff, the lightning aura, the lightning arcane, and whatever. I can't remember what the third upgrade is, but it's another lightning staff for phase 3, and you can absolutely do it. Of course, we'll be doing Betsy here, like I said in a future video. Those critters a bit annoying, but we can take them down. Didn't mean to let this thing take a little more damage, but it's okay. Damage is not bad. As you can see, the sentry's holding up pretty dang well. And grab some more mana crystals here. We've got this thing under control. Everything under control. Those silly things. Get out of the way. There we go. Actually, hold on. There's one more crystal missing over here somewhere, right? One more crystal missing somewhere around here. Wave 7. Oh, it's down there. I see it. I'm looking all around over there. It's like, oh, yeah. So, yeah, there's nothing else over here. Nothing we could do. That crystal is in the sands. Lost to the sand. But that goes back to what I was saying right here. As you can see, the coverage is absolute total. We're going to be looking for the Ogre. I believe they always come from the left. That's what it seems like anyway. So, yeah. It always seemed to come from the left. We'll have our sentry over there. Just kind of taking him out. There we go. Ogre's a big critter. It's got some hit points. It's got 10,000. Bringing it down pretty quick between the bats and the sentries. The flyers are coming in. They make it so much harder. But we got this in the bag. We got this in the bag. It's just making it a little bit more closer than what it needs to be. There we go. Invasion complete. Let's go ahead and collect our reward. Crystal doesn't care. Once the boss is down, we get 15 medals for that. Once the boss is down, the crystal does not care. So 25 for a completed tier 2 run, which is, it's doable. A couple runs will actually get you a good amount of defender medals. I say if you can do a good solid 10 runs, it'll make it easy. We're gonna go ahead and grind a little bit more here. I'm not gonna make you guys watch all of this, cause you can see it is what it is. But the rain just kind of brings all these critters to the yard. Yeah, we'll still have to do a little bit of back and forth here. The beginning part is what it is. You do have to work a little bit more in the beginning, but when you get more sentries out, it just becomes easier. So yeah, there'll be a little bit of back and forth as long as you don't forget the other side. There we go. That's why it's always best to kind of drop a sentry over there with your main sentry. Oh, totally forgot about it again. As I'm talking, I'm forgetting. There we go. So this wave is already in the bag, and you kind of get the gist of it now. So yeah, it's a lot of back and forth at first, but more mana crystals you get, the more you can make it easier, and it does get a little bit easier all in due time, up until the boss comes. So coming up on wave 7 here, this will give us another 25 defender medals once we go ahead and defeat this. But as you can see, it's not that bad. Maybe a little time consuming other than that once you get prepped. Let's go ahead and take out these crystals. These crystals are super annoying. Generally, yeah, we don't have enough sentries over here, but yeah, generally these sentries do kind of hold up. Let's go ahead and max this out. There we go. All the way to the screen. I like having my sentries back up my other sentries. These guys should be wiped out relatively simple. This isn't bad at all. Okay, there's our flyers. They tend to peek in. There's little crystals things. I don't even know what they are. They're just annoying. They're like most of the mobs here. They're all just simply annoying. So let's go ahead and throw you over there. So I know the Ogre's going to be coming here relatively soon. Actually, there's this health bar down there. Health bars are rather interesting. I like those in 1.4, even though they are kind of, I don't want to say generic, but they're a nice addition either way. I like the touch we have. Also, it actually helps you differentiate between boss, mini-boss, and things like that. Because mini-bosses, I believe, do get a health bar, which is interesting because Dreadnoughtless doesn't. It's in the patch notes, Dreadnoughtless actually is called a mini-boss, even though it doesn't have a health bar. Either way. There we go. Once again, another one down. Down and done. These guys just wasting their time. There we go. The video's over, but there's more where that came from. Be sure to subscribe for more Terraria Let's Plays, Top 5s, and other videos as well as we cover different titles. You can click on one of the videos here for more. Be sure to rate this video accordingly as it helps the channel out greatly. Have yourself a wonderful day, and I will see you again next time.